I'm here. I just got caught. I have. How's it going? How's it? Almost ready. Almost. Maybe. I'm not sure. Am I ever ready? Okay, maybe I am. I'm not sure yet. I forgot to get the stand up. Oops. Sure. Let's do this. Music? Almost. Hi, Edge. How's it going? I hope all's well in your corner of the world. It's amazing. I feel like stream close. Whatever you're. Theory. We did it. So, I don't even have my pattern up. Aw, thank you. I even moved stuff on my table. Notice I did not say put it away. Because that would be craziness if I put stuff away. Right? Yeah. How is my stream deck so far away today? I have no idea. Get some battles going. Edge, how are you? I hope all's well in your corner. Oh gosh. Kangalix! Yes, all the confetti. That's the wrong one. Oh no, it's alright, it's alright. Like, they called me at 10 to come pick them up. Well, that they were almost to the school. It's like, why? Why so late? Yeah. Like, what? I don't understand it. And, like, I know it's not all the time, but, like, I'm glad they did not have school today. Because that's wicked late. And then I stayed up till 1 a.m. because I forgot how to tell time. We had 30 minutes on the first pad. Oh, I gotta show you this. I got it. Alright. Don't worry, Calyx. I'm holding it. I was hoping it was on the front page here. How awesome would it be? And hold on. Look. Ready? Oh, look, it's right there. It's right there. Look at it. It's so cute. Look at it. It's so cute. It's so cute. I was in Captain TV stream yesterday, right? When they were showing off the skins, right? I'm like, oh my gosh. And then somebody commented, is that flying poop? And then Calyx is like, no, it's holy poop. I died laughing. I really did. It was so great. It was totally the reaction that should have been. We're working on this today. Oh. And if you noticed, it's 27. 27 things. Thursday, it was only 26. Oh, gosh. Lucian, hello. How are you? Why is it 27? Because the White Queen's done. Look at her. She turned out better than I thought she would. Because I struggled. I struggled so much. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Buttons is up here already. He's like, I'm here, mother. There he is. He's like, hi, mother. Where's my hand? I would like some treats. And here comes Java. Yes. Do it. This is buttons. Java, you're awful close to sitting in my Java. I love that it's throwing poop. I really do. Here comes Snaps, maybe. Oh my gosh, I missed that comment. Where's Bean? He's looking at me like, woman, get me. Hold on, I'll go get him. Oh no, baby girl's getting him for it. There he is. Ow! Why are you so mean? I was gonna get you another one, but you grabbed my finger. There he is, just for you. Hey. Come on. Oh my gosh. This other cat, Snaps, is like, I don't want treats. You want a treat? Nope, he does not want a treat. Whatever. And then, of course, the doggo. Here's Tonks. Oh gosh, you dropped one. Well then. That happened. It's not even close to where it needs. Where are we working? Oh, we're working his chin, I think. I have no idea where we're working. I think it is... Yeah. Yeah, and a pupper. We got 5 cats, 2 dogs, and 18 chickens. And 4 kids. Like... It's a lot. It's alright, though. Gosh, I can't see. Is it gonna be one of those days? probably. How's everybody doing? Oh my gosh, I was productive yesterday. I was. I got my garden in. And my fruit bushes. I got 3 strawberry plants and a raspberry bush. They're all in the ground, along with all the corn and tomatoes and peppers and I think broccolini, I think. Not a huge assortment this year because I decided to just buy a couple plants instead of growing them from seeds this year. Next year I'll get back to doing that. And let's see, what else did we do? We went out shopping for groceries. And coffee. Of course, coffee. Let's see, what else did I? Oh, I finished the White Queen, and you want to see what I did start? No, I know. Oh, look at that! We got a shout out for Calyx. Whoa, and thank you for that. I meant blah 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 blah. The Melonsaurus. Yes, it's going together great. And look at the colors! The colors. Amazing. Thank you for that follow! Sylvan... Nilda? Sylvanilda? Sylvanilda. I am gonna struggle. That's alright. How are you? I hope all's well in your corner of the world. Welcome on in. Sorry, I gotta put my hair up. It's almost dry, so it's alright. Also, if you don't know, Calyx is having her first ever skinathon. Not this coming Monday, but the following Monday. I encourage everybody to at least stop by and see what it's all about. Because it's gonna be awesome. Right? I can't wait either. Gonna be amazing. If you don't know, Skinathon is where like we do so many incentives and stuff and eat gross jelly beans or spicy stuff or whatever. I encourage people to buy and or gift skins. But it's fun. And we get absolutely nothing done during the whole skinathon. We just pretend we do. Right, Jody? Right? 100% will be. Gosh. Oh, God. Oh, ladies. Soyan, thank you for that follow. I don't know why the alert didn't go off. But thank you for that follow. I do appreciate it. I know you're gonna do amazing. I mean, I always tell people, though, have low expectations. Whose chat was I in? Oh, I was in Chimera's chat last night, and she's doing her first ever fair, right? So she's setting up somewhere and selling her stuff this summer. And she asked me, top 3 to 5 things that, for, sellers. The number one thing I said, and I say this about a lot of stuff, is low expectations. Just, have low expectations because you never know. I've been doing events for I don't know how long, and I still have low expectations. Because when you crush those low expectations, you feel good. Yeah. Exactly. Like, if my camera is bugging, I'm sorry. Let me see if turning this will help. If by chance my camera ever bugs out, let me know. I will try fixing it. But yeah, I get it. Gosh, I almost messed up. I mean, also, like, if you're getting into selling your stuff, and Calyx can probably say it too, you'll learn what does and doesn't sell for you. Another thing I took from here. This coming week, Tuesday, I will not be on. It is senior night for track and field at the school, and since I have senior, I have to be there early, and I will be there the whole day because it's a home event. Haven't done an event or fair in a hot minute. Yeah, last summer I did my first, last year I did my first either 3 or 4, I think 4 events since COVID. And it was worth it. And I'm scheduled for a couple this year already. But it's always nice to get back into it, especially if you're missing it. I have to get more stuff made up, though. Like, I have plenty of stuff, don't get me wrong, but, never enough.
You're putting on your blue dress, your hair falls perfect on your shoulders. Notice how we both have gotten older.
I think my light over here is messed up. Let me change that.
Looking at your weary face.
That's good. The blue light one, I gotta remember that. Maybe. That's good.
I remember them like they were yesterday. You used to be my Valentine. Now I'm not even sure you're mine. Why, baby, why? Why, baby, why? Do you ever
So,
stop and wonder?
in about half an hour, I'll put up the prediction. And what the prediction does is you get to guess how many stitches I'll do today. And I'll say how many stitches I've done at the end of the first hour-ish. Just to give you an idea, but just remember that's not a definite average for today. And if you've been here previous weeks, it does vary week by week.
So this is where we ended up at last. I know that we can never change the past. We had it all worked out.
And the oldest right now is designing the next full skin. Still haven't fully decided on what skin's gonna be the epic skin. Not sure. Still taking ideas. I want one that could be used more often than not. Yay! Spent a good 10 minutes? Oh no. Oh no, no, no. That's horrifyingly... Yes. Okay, Shay's not really here. It's an imposter. Yeah. I hope work goes by good for you. Uppers is working. Feel bad for him. Got stuck at work. Because you're an awesome person.
Sky's beautiful and so are you. I wanna make it up to you, start something new. Yeah, I've been thinking of the parts I played for you. Now I'm drinking from the bottle as I do. It's like
Need safety eyes? What size? Well, that's not helpful. You stop crocheting to paint your nails? Aww, what color? Baby girl would like to know, right, baby girl? That doesn't help. Let's see. Go get your thing. I forgot I hung them on my wall. What color? What color do you want? Blue?
another day, another rhyme. Trying to sugarcoat and reconcile.
That's to double check. She is working on her toucan, and I have to admit, she's doing amazing. Wait. We had a redeem. Sorry. Hydrate, posture check, and a stretch. What? Reaching over counts. I'm joking. Stretch. Also, me putting my safety eye container on the wall. Genius idea. Perfect. She's not sure. Okay, let me see that book. Because if it has to be bigger, I'm not sure if I have bigger. Well, I do have bigger, but you know. Let me see your... Why is it taking you forever to see? Oh. Yeah, good then. There's just about 3 stitches. Here you go. Perfect. Hold on, I'll get you the back. Probably. You want the backings? Here. And coffee? Coffee, yeah. Coffee. Made of myself. Baby girl seems upset with herself. There's only one more episode of Wednesday left before she's caught up on the first season. There will be more. But it's cute that she's like, only one more. Boots is on the... Are you serious? Tiger. Stop, Tiger. Not nice. I'm glad Boots is on the mend. Man. Vintage! Hello! I got your package yesterday. Hi, Arsenic. How's it going? I hope everybody's doing all right. Am in a box. Yes, that's a good spot. Yes. Yes, it did. And I did wait. I'm in the middle of... Baby girl, you need... Stealing my pins, everybody. Doing schoolwork? I'm proud of you doing your schoolwork. Teach my kids how to do schoolwork, please. Okay, I'm joking. Baby girl's pretty good at it. It's all the boys that... Well, not little dude. But, I did have to wait. I know you said about what size, but I didn't want to make the thing too big or too small. If that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, which I appreciate. I've had people like ask me to do stuff and not include measurements. I'm like, how big? And it does make my life easier. I can't wait to get the mock-ups for my bomber. Hopefully it's this week. Especially since Child is signing the next scan. I thought about maybe doing dungeons some today. What do we think? I know a lot of people are doing dungeons. Like, I guess that's the reason why I haven't really been doing too many dungeons. You need a restart suit today. Oh no. Okay. Okay. How can we make it better? Let me know and we'll try. Let's drive a pony. Hello. Do one dungeon after every. That would work. What do we think? Do we want to do that? Because then we get the dungeons and the campaign. Like, I was talking with Chimera, because Chimera is also a stream captain. Dungeons go way too quick for, like, crafters, I think. Everyone's positive. Yes, we're so positive here. Alright, which is great. Drake, hello, how are you? I hope all's well in your corner of the world. Oh, come on in. For your first book? Wait, hold on. You know I'm gonna ask. You know. Send the link. I mean, what? Oh, yesterday I also ordered the fabric for the Dark Alice. You nearly finished with your education. Congrats. Awesome. I am proud of you. I might sneeze. If I do, you know I'm gonna try muting. I say try because sometimes I just can't reach it. Right? All the hype. Wait. Is that the one that Sassacas is doing? No, it's not. But oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. Only an internship? What? That's so exciting. I think this is similar to the one that Sassacas is doing. Jody, you might know. That's gonna be amazing. No, yeah, that's what I thought. What hit you in the ear? Oh, do you need help? Can't get back? Okay, don't pull it out. Is that where it needs to be? I push it down even more, see? Now you get some posts. Or some rings. Me to the rescue. This one's gonna be so what we do is we flip it upside down. Hopefully we don't break it. Oh, we got units. Okay, let's do the battle as I'm trying to push these on. Thank you so much, each and every person putting down even one unit means so much to me. Look at this Calyx. Look at that. Look at the Buster. I'm sorry, Buster. Let's see who else. Yes, we're gonna do this right now. There's some amazing stuff. There's a Calyx bomber. Oh, that's just a gingerbread tank. That's a. Yes, look at all these cool skins. I love skins. They're kind of like emotes. Can't have enough of them. Okay, this is rough. You need to put it through here. Okay. Does it tell you how to do this part then? It's almost there. Oh, we win! Shay with 13 kills. Shay's not really here though. Edge with 15 assists. We got 1 winner, 6 gold for everyone. Edge with 2 healers. Awesome job. Let's continue. It's a bronze chest. I forget what I need. Oh, killed 3 melee. Let's just put the flying buster there, right? Here we go. 30 minutes. Baby girl's distracting me. Oh gosh, I had it and then it popped off. Okay, I do think because these ones are flatter that it won't make a difference. Okay. I think they're talking about the other backing, like these. Okay? Because these ones I see the pop out. Okie dokie. My fingers hurt from trying that. Ooh, ooh, awesome, Jody. Oh, I know, baby girl, I know. Plus, these ones are easier to put on than the other ones. They are. Apparently that's his cat? But it looks a little weird. Alright. Hey. What is it? Not me slowly falling off the chair there. Alright, there we go. Oh, I put it up there. I lost it already.
Keep loving you as long as my heart's beating. Oh, hold me close. Promise you won't let go. I'm nothing without you. I don't know what I would do without you. You are the one I choose. I wanna go with you.
All these stitches to eat. Ooh, exciting.
Even though years have gone by, I'm still in love with the way that you smile.
So I do have to ask, do you center start or do you start in a quarter?
I will be with you the rest of my life. I will be with you until I stop breathing. I will keep loving you as long as my heart's beating. Oh, hold me close. Promise you won't
I am a center start.
go. I'm nothing without you.
Oh, yep, makes sense. I know so many people that have gotten into cross stitching, and let's say even the last like 5 to 10 years, that have never heard about center starting, and they always look at me like, huh, why do you do it that way? Because that's how I learned. Then there's no guessing. You know your piece of Ada or fabric, whatever you're using, is big enough. If you start in the center, it's going to be in the center. Unless you mess up like I did on Stardew Valley, then yeah, that was on me. But yeah, I've gotten so many people over the past couple years like, why do you start in the middle? Aren't you scared that you're gonna run? No, I'm not, because I know my fabric is at least an inch extra. See, now that's different, vintage. That's different. I would still try center starting, but what I would do is mark the center and then count. But what I would do on that to get there is mark every 10 stitches out. But that's just me. Kind of needle. A yarn needle? Top left. That makes sense. Bring it back when you're done. But like, that's me. Full coverage, I still do. It's... There's nothing... Oh my gosh. So in a sense, you're still center starting. You just got to make sure that you start not too low, right? So you're doing corner for full coverage. I mean, I see that. I really do. And it does make sense, but I can't. I would love to try, but I just can't. I do think it's a preference though. Honestly, I think it's one, a preference, and two, how you learned. But if you learned one way and it just works perfect for you, then that's how you're always going to do it. But if you learn one way and it doesn't work how you like it, then you normally switch. Yeah, that is a lot. It's going to be amazing.
I'm standing in the hallway as I've done a million times before. I have seen this room and walked this floor before, and the walls know every story I have told. Memories flash in front of me. I see them clearly. A life I once
That went flying.
is sealed in this house of concrete and stone.
Heck, why is your string so long? Because it is. That is all.
It can never be untold. The past, it is written.
Holy macaroni and cheese. Bus Driving Pony, how big is it gonna be? I need details. I need all the details. Like, I can go look, but I'm lazy.
It's written in stone. Though I'm growing old,
It didn't even look. Oh my gosh.
it is written in stone.
I was gonna just. I'm just jumping. Punched your thumb already? That's alright. I would have done the same thing. I never paint my fingernails.
And I know, though I'm growing old,
It's alright.
can never
It still looks fine.
the past is written in stone. Though I'm growing old, it can never be untold.
40 by 273. That's not bad. It's gonna be amazing.
Though I'm growing old, it is written in stone.
Is this the biggest piece that you've started? Awesome. I can't wait to see progress.
You always said we were the good ones. Like an 18-minute thriller movie.
Are you excited? I'm excited for you.
I always knew you always meant it. But now
No blends.
on the bedside too.
Specialty stitches.
Oh,
Awesome. I am a sucker for blends and cross stitch. These ones that I've been doing lately don't have any. But I love the effect.
So I'm counting all the days till you come around to show me what you found. Since breaking from this misery, I wish that you could see me now that you're gone. 'Cause you need to be alone, away from our chemistry. I just hope you'll end up not without meant to last. I'm counting all the days till you come around.
Super excited. Awesome.
Will you come around?
How much confetti? How much? Flat, little. I mean, I'm all about the confetti too for some. I don't know why. I think it's because it does blend the colors well. If there's no blend. I don't like both though. I don't like when there's blended threads and confetti. That makes no sense. Like one or the other, people. One or the other. I don't think you did. Awesome. I'll look here in a second.
I went out and tried to cut a pine tree down. Fell through the ground like Alice.
Awesome. I know I once followed somebody here on Twitch that was all about kittens, and then everybody found out that it was a kitten farm, and yeah. Ooh, Bus Driving Pony, that looks amazing. You did good. Good job. I'm proud of you. I don't think they're still here. I don't think so. I'm not sure though. They might be. Who knows? Ooh, exciting! It turned out amazing. How long did that take you, if you don't mind me asking? Oh gosh. Like 20? What? Well, that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. How are you? I hope the chaos is settling down. And who was the official winner of your thing last night? Wow, what is it? Mario Kart. I was watching, but I finished another item. I finished the White Queen. So I was busy. So we get the Queen of Hearts and the White Queen now. See, they're sisters. One looks like a hot mess, and one is not. Flippy first, Sheepy second, Grimmy and you third. Awesome, not bad. I gotta make more of these. Like, it's so fun. I don't think people understand how popular the Alice's Adventures in Wonderland dolls are. They're so popular. I don't know why. I do like making them, which is a good thing, I guess. Oh, did you get everything finished setting up? Mega Mando begins. Ah. So what was it? Mix It Up crashed or something, or like reset itself or something? Like that's a mess.
And the horizon silver line.
How insane. And how long did it take you to finish setting up again?
Looking up at a tree, I remember how it started. I was lost in a
Update, but clashes. Oh. Oh, that's insane. And I know I know you're like, yeah, I'm never gonna update right before stream. You know you will. Oh, that's even worse. Somebody else was having an issue, but it wasn't Mix It Up. I think it was Streamlabs. Which I don't use Streamlabs anymore, and there's a huge reason for it. I moved everything from Streamlabs to OBS. But yeah, if you don't follow the whole thing about that, that was a mess. Never update before stream, says every streamer, and then what do? We update before stream. Every time. No, actually, I think after last time that stuff would not work, I wait until after stream to update. Or I'll push everything off for a week.